on this aggressive attack to Nest's base. Nest sitting with just these Stalkers being put out by Soka. Is it enough? He's moving in, and well, it does seem that there's a big Stalker advantage. I don't know if he can push in here just yet. He will, with this force field, be able to do a soft contain if he wants, and actually catches a few of the Stalkers on the low ground.
Yeah, and I would like to see the Oracle fly into the main base now to do some damage against the one base eco that Soka is on, but MVP opting to not do that, puts down one more force field. It's gonna get close though, Blink is almost finished, so a contain is not really something that he can pull off. First Immortal in production for Grubby right now, and MVP will be very thankful for that, because he is gonna need it.
Yeah, Soka did warp in a Zealot to help defend the proxy pylon, so is this that full commitment we're about to see from Soka and ST? Grubby MVP halfway complete, over halfway, with their natural expansion. The second Immortal is in production. These Immortals very key to taking out these Stalkers, but will having the full attention on that Blink micro for an ST be enough to break the blue team's defenses?
Oh, and the Nexus isn't finished, so there's no photon overcharge. Will he be able to blink up? No. He decides to go for the Nexus. Walking into Immortal shots is never something you really want as a Protoss. Loses the first Stalker. ST focusing the Nexus once again right now, and yeah, there comes the cancel from Grubby. I think this was a wise decision, and we might actually see a soft contain coming from Nesty right now. He has the Sentry, he has the Stalkers. All he needs to worry about right now is his main base. If he doesn't lose a lot of probes, gets the Nexus up, I think he will be in a very fine spot, Nathanius.
Yeah, I really like this position. As you said, at the Sentry, if he tries to move down the ramp, he can get cut in half. The Photon Overcharge was triggered in Soka's base. Perhaps that Oracle making another round through, but he has a third Immortal on the way. At what point can MVP try to break down? Is there anything extra that he can do versus this contain? We have a Warp Prism in production.
Yeah, maybe with the Warp Prism he can get out. I think he's doing something with the Phoenixes in the base of Soka right now. Maybe even with the Oracle. In the meantime, oh! Nice, catching that one Immortal is very big. Once the Immortal count gets up to 4, you can start one-shotting Stalkers. So if you're able to pick off one Immortal at a time, that's very, very good for the Soka Nesty combo.
Yeah, he's getting ready to try to break this, it seems. The Warp Prism is done. He's warped in a few Zealots on the left side of that ridge area, so maybe drop the Immortals onto the low ground as well and try to push forward with everything. There's another Zealot. And how much can he do? There are the two Immortals. And you think he's going to try to attack him from both sides, Harsum, or just ferry everything to the low ground?
I think he's going to walk down with the Zealots and the Sentry. Oh, but it gets spotted too early. Will there be a force field on the ramp? No, Nesty just decides to walk away. Might force field behind him to feel a bit safer. And only now does the Nexus come down for Soka. So the game is starting to equalize quite a bit. Yeah, I think they're equal right now. Supplies are quite close. There is some money in the bank for the Grubby MVP combo, but that's being spent quickly on a Nexus as well. I think there's 3 or 4 Immortals out right now, and this is looking very close.
Yeah, I kind of like what you said about moving towards that even position. We do have a Dark Shrine on the way for Team Grubby, so it looks like maybe trying to get a bit more of the harassment opportunities available. There was an Oracle in production for Team Soka, but they cancel it. That Stargate, he's ready to finally pick that proxy off. And Nesty still being active though with his Blink Stalkers. If he can catch these forces, that'd be pretty nice, especially with this Warp Prism in the southwest side of the map. A very nice pickup as well.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be able to get it. MVP being very careful with the Warp Prism, but there goes the first Stalker. Does he get a Phoenix? No, he does not. So those Phoenixes will stay alive for MVP. Lots of sentries being warped in by Soka. Surprises me a bit, but then again, there is a big ground force for Grubby, and sentries on this map are great to keep your natural ramp.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting position because the Warp Prism is moving in, the Dark Shrine is close, and we saw, I mean, it was kind of funny how he started the Oracle before they started poking the proxy. He didn't have any detection. He still doesn't. The robotics facility is just about to finish, and he'll need an observer. He need to start an observer immediately in order to have something to defend against this. Grubby's just kind of had his observer sitting over the natural of Soka. He knows, okay, you don't really have any detection right now, and there is the observer coming in for Soka, so I don't think they should do too much. There's the force field on the center ramp. Not able to really catch too much though.
No, against Blink Stalkers, force field aren't as useful as you would like them to be. So here comes the Prism. No, decides to steal back out. Solid Forge. I was like, maybe there's detection already. Wow, a big run by for Nesty. This might actually hurt the Grubby MVP team. Going for the Nexus, I think that's a mistake. He should send a few Stalkers into the main base to target probes. Except of course if he gets the Nexus, that would be great, but great.
There's the recall coming back to try to defend. He does have actually recalled pretty much just the Immortals. And is he going to try to flank him from the bottom side of the ramp? He's trying to retreat. The Stalkers are here. He did kill the Nexus on his retreat. There's the force field, but the blink harsed him, getting away, and he still has his natural done. Now that still though, they are down about 20 supply, now just 10 against Grubby MVP. Are they going to bring the counterattack to the front door of Soka and ST?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't think he will be able to break him. 5 sentries, he has to do something with the Warp Prism in order to kind of distract him, but even then, it's just a 2 force field ramp, so I wouldn't have the balls to walk up there. Let's see if MVP has the balls, but I doubt it.
It's a bit of a bold move. He even has the Dark Templar mixed into that force as well. He's putting it over to block what might be a third. I think might be the Warp Prism on the right side of the map. Charges on the way for Soka. We have Colossi production beginning for Team Grubby MVP. A couple Zealots being sent across the center of the map to harass, but poking up. And you know, there's so many sentries there. It's really scary. Maybe use the Dark Templar to get Archons and break the force fields.
I was just about to say that the moment I said he can't actually break the force, I was like, wait a minute, he has Dark Templar tech, and here we go, 2 Archons being warped in. So he does want to make a little push, and the back of this, probably take a 3rd base at the gold. Natural Nexus finishing up, and here comes the battle.
Well, he force fields in those 2 Immortals. The Archon would need to get back to break those, and the first Archon is destroyed. The extra Immortals will be caught, and a pretty big pickup, I feel, for Team Soka and ST, as those Immortals do perish, one of them barely slipping out, and now he's managed to hold the natural and also that economic advantage as the Nexus and the naturals just again recompleted for Team Grubby.
And earlier we saw 2 Zealots doing some harass. I think they killed 2 or 3 probes. 1 DT had to be warped in at home to deal with this, and right now, here comes the 3rd base at the goal. Like I mentioned earlier, cannons going down for Soka. Soka feels like he's ahead. And to be honest, I'm not too sure if he actually is. Yes, they did kill a few Archons, or 1 or 2 Immortals. They did kill an Archon. And Grubby's, or well, MVP's army doesn't look too scary. But on the other hand, he already has a Colossi out. He's getting the gold base if the gold finishes, and he will be able to mine from it. It's going to be a very tough battle for Soka and ST.
Yeah, the economic advantage, even though the natural was delayed for a significant portion by the snipe from those Stalkers, I mean, just 3rd base PvP in general, getting the extra income from those gold minerals is a huge boost to the economy. The 2nd Colossus is coming out, extended thermal lance on the way, and just now the robotics bay is under production for Team Soka and ST. They're going to be very behind as far as the ability to make those Colossi goes. And does this open any potential attack timings once he hits a certain number of Colossi?
I think the magic number we're going to be looking at is 3 Colossi, but I mean, at this time, why would Grubby MVP ever attack? They're up a base, and it's the gold. You're just going to get further and further ahead if you have especially the gold against someone who doesn't even, they just started their 3rd base. So yeah, this is looking great for Grubby MVP, I would say.
Hallucinated Phoenix being sent out, scouting around with that is Nesty, just trying to get a grip on everything, not really seeing anything that he didn't know about before. More and more Templar being warped in for Nesty and Soka, so they're getting a pretty beefy army with these Immortals and these Archons. And the Colossi are pretty good, but it just seems like there's the army looks a bit smaller standing. But using this high ground that's at the gold base, giving himself a bit of a better position to defend against a potential attack.
Yeah, I feel like the only way that Soka and Nesty will be able to attack properly will be with a Warp Prism distraction or a little Zealot run by into the natural. I don't think he can walk up this ramp, and I think it would be a bit silly to do that. But
he's trying his hand. The time warp slows them down. Looks like there might be a bit of harassment towards the 3rd base of Soka and ST. But yeah, he has to deal with these Zealots. He has to warp units in to defend himself, and that makes attacking a bit harder, but he's trying to split the army to attack the natural, and I think he wants to draw the main army down that ramp and force him to take a fight. But with 2 Colossi here to defend for MVP, Grubby's natural is going to be completely safe. But this 3rd base, I don't think he can out DPS the Dark Templar, just taking that out.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have an observer there, so it's gonna lose the 3rd base, and it's up against the goal. This is gonna be horrible for Soka and ST, and I feel like Grubby MVP are pulling ahead bit by bit, move by move, losing a few Zealots at the natural, and then losing the 3rd, and opting to go for the gold themselves now. But if you don't have the Colossi advantage, you can't really keep the gold, because they can shoot the minerals from the low ground.
And that's a very good point, and we're starting to see this difference in economy translate into something real, almost a 30-40 supply lead for Team Grubby MVP. They're bringing in more Archons now. They want to get aggressive, and I think they have similar thoughts to you. Harsim's Bars being able to hold on to this center base. They can now force a fight pretty handily, and here it comes. The Guardian Shields are activated. Just 2 Colossi versus 5. Time warps being laid down. The Warp Prism actually being used to help bring in reinforcements from the north side during this fight, and this fight just looks like it's going so well for Team Grubby.
Yeah, exactly, and I feel like Soka and his team will have to step out anytime soon. Now, Probes being slaughtered. Third base is about to fall, and 5 Colossi still standing. 3 Immortals, GG being called, and Grubby MVP takes the first game, giving each other a nice handshake. You see the team spirit wins once again against the couch shitters.
Stay tuned for more Fight Night.
Did you know Frodan was Employee of the Month in December of 1996 at Circuit City? Fight Night.
You wanna start something? Fight Night. Fight Night, bitches. Frodan is so sexy. Fight Night.
Get ready to fight. Raise your kappas, it's Fight Night.
Welcome back to Fight Night.
So guys, that's the end of game number 1. We had a pretty interesting game between Grubby MVP and Soka Nest. Pretty interesting how the opening build orders panned out, especially with the mid-game Nexus snipe. But Team Grubby, they take the gold base, and with that are able to take the first game in this best of 3.
Yeah, exactly, and then after that with a great fight, well actually, not really a fight, just a great defense, going up that high ground, and yeah, just really good play by MVP, good army positioning, and of course, lovely macro by Grubby. So congratulations to them, and we're going to be throwing it over for a small interview.
Hey, Grubby. So, talk to me about that game. It seemed like you guys had a little bit of a rough start early on, but you guys managed to pull it back. What was the defining moment, do you think?
The defining moment? I think it's when we provided a distraction to lose like 70% of our army to take the gold. I think that was a strategical move, of which the consequences were difficult to predict.
So what was it like playing with MVP? Was there a big language barrier, did you feel, or was it kind of Pacific Rim, 2 minds in one?
I think he was a dream ally. Yeah, it was very funny. We didn't need much communication. Sometimes maybe he was a little overzealous to attack, but I think he took good defensive position. Like particularly defensively, I think it was okay. And just in time to recall when it looked like it was going to go very badly for us at the Nexus, with granted just 4 of his Immortals, but it was enough to kill some army that we still had a chance. I think it was very interesting and super funny.
So you think your team, Hasu and Select, should be able to close it out 2-0?
This is Stefano's first tournament day, so maybe he's still in good shape. I think he can do okay. Our team, yeah, I have full confidence in them. I think we're gonna close it out 2-0. Hasu and Select, they'll do it. All
right, well, good luck to your team. Congrats, man.
All right, let's get ready for the second round of StarCraft 2 Macro Micro. For this round, White Raw and Stefano versus Select and Hasuabs.
Hey, Stefano, so now you know your first team, and we know the first map setting is Macro Micro. Do you have any thoughts on it?
Well, it's not the best I could have had, but I think we can do very well. I have Soka who speaks quite well in English, White Raw who's not ashamed of anything, so he will say what he thinks. And the only issue is maybe the communication with Nessie, but if he teams up with me and we play ZVZ, we don't need to speak, we will know what to do.
It's a mutual understanding.
Exactly. So I think we have a chance.
All right, well, good luck, Stefano, in your first match.
Thank you.
Hey Asu, now that you know your first team and you're with both Terrans as well as another Protoss, what are your thoughts?
I'm very happy with my team, to be honest. I'm happy with the drawing. We got 2 Koreans, and Select is one of them, and he speaks very fluent English as well. So we can communicate very well. And also we got Grubby, so yeah, I'm very happy with my team. We got 2 Protosses and 2 Terrans, so we luck a Zerg. But I hope that's not a problem, and I'm really looking forward to the games.
That's right, so good luck in your first match, Housewives.
Thanks.
Cool.
So Select, we know the first groups. People are saying you're the X factor because you can play and communicate with some of the other Korean players.
Yeah, the MVP, yeah. I like my team because this macro map is from StarCraft 1, right? And MVP was the StarCraft 1 player. And Warcraft 3 players, they are talented in arcade game maps because they played a lot back in Warcraft 3.
Oh yeah, UMS was huge.
Yeah, so I think we have good chance to win.
All right, well, sounds like it. Good luck, Select, and I hope your acting skills are up to par. All right, Alexi, it's the dream team. What do you think about everybody?
Yeah, I think we have very good team to protest to Zerg. It's very good combo, but our opponents also have strong roster, so it will be interesting what kind of race they choose.
What player on your team do you feel like you mesh with the best in this scenario for macro micro?
I think I can good combine with Soka because he Protoss, and it will be very good if we use same race.
All right, well, hopefully that can come out the case. Good luck in your first match, my friend.
Thank you very much.
All right, it's time for game 2. Our first pair up is Select versus Haswab. Select, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, 30 seconds. Count us down, Elisa.
3, 2, 1.
Stalker?
Stalker's correct.
Mutalisk?
Butterfree.
Baneling?
Yes, Baneling.
Phoenix? Queen? Overlord? Corruptor? Broodlord?
Viking.
Did you guys?
All right, Select. So you gave it your all, but you guys only got 3.
One more, I wanted to do queen acting because what I was going to do was I'm just gonna move there and take a shit. It's like creep tumor, you know? Yeah. But yeah, that's good.
That's okay. I think you did a great job. It was Haswabs who didn't know, but some of the other players did. So hopefully they get a chance to. You guys got 3, and hopefully that'll be enough. So Select and Hasu got 3, meaning Stefano, you have to get 4 with White Raw in order to be able to pick your race. Can you do it?
I think there's 3 I can do correctly. The other, I will have to be creative.
All right, well, Stefano, one of the most creative players. Good luck. Lisa, on your count.
3, 2, 1.
Roach. Roach.
Roach.
Infestor. Broodlords. Dark Templar. Stalker.
Defensive end for the Seahawks.
GT. Immortals.
Oh, no.
Sentry block! I can't move! Wow.
That was Sentry. Oh.
Try to move.
Next time.
And this is Viper.
Viper.
Yes. That's okay. You know, you tried to go for it. You were very creative. You put a lot of energy.
No.
Are you winded for your next game, Stefano?
Winded?
Do you have enough energy for next game? You spent a lot of it.
Right now I'm pumped, like I have a rush of adrenaline, so I'm ready.
Okay, well, to me, that was a wake-up call. Doesn't matter what race they play. Good luck, and good try, man. All right, guys, it wasn't pretty, but you made it 3 to win. What's the race you guys going to pick for Micro Macro?
We're going to pick Protoss.
Because that's the strongest race?
No, because we want to have a really hard time.
All right, well, good luck, guys. Seems like it's going to be fun. Let's give it back to our commentators, Nathanius and Harston.
We just saw what was a pretty interesting, I think, game of charades there. 3-1, a little bit, well, more of a stomp than the last match. And that does mean that Team Select Haswabs will be able to choose their race. They've gone with Protoss, it seems, Harston.
Yeah, so most likely gonna be Haswabs that's going to do the macro, and Select with the micro, which is good. Select one of those players that is known for his good control of units. And on the other hand, we have Stefano and White Raw. I think Stefano is gonna do the macro, and White will do the micro. White of course known for cute moves with whether it be Warp Prisms, Blink Stalkers, or even DTs. So I think that's gonna be the setup for the teams, and I'm very curious how it's gonna pan out, because normally if you would look at those two teams, you would say, well, Stefano, the best foreigner we've ever had, especially in Wings of Liberty, the best foreigner, very strong macro, good with inject, but how good is he really with other races?
That's the question. They are, of course, going to have to play random for this match. Probably not something that either Stefano or White Raw practice too much. And it's also important to keep in mind the winner of this game will go on to face off against Team Grubby MVP. And it's 250 points, of course, for each of these individual wins. So there's quite a bit at stake. You can go straight up to 500 points for your two-player team if you do win this game and then the next one.
And 500 points if there's two guys that have 0 points, or well, 4 guys that have 0 points, so you'll be up by a lot, and I'm just looking forward to it. It's gonna be a ton of fun. Last game was a ton of fun. The charades so far have been very good, and this
very entertaining indeed.
I think this first arcade fight night is going to be a blast. We're yeah, a bit through already, but we have a lot more in store.
All right, guys, so we're about to get into the second game, but first, let's hear a little bit what the players have to say about their teammates as well as their opponents as we do get ready for our next game. Select, good sir, how do you feel about your teammate matchup for this next game?
I think we're gonna win pretty easy because we picked our race. They're playing Zerg, but yeah, we have a strategy.
All right, well, already confidence coming out of Team Select, getting ready to move into our second game. Let's see what thoughts we can get from Stefano White Raw team. Stefano, how do you feel about this matchup, having to play the, well, not necessarily the race that you wanted, and how do you feel about your teammate matchup against their team?
I think it's fine because we got Zerg, so we can do something very interesting with it. It will most likely be rather glorious.
All right, well, that definitely, Stefano playing Zerg, things can get very interesting and very, very slow sometimes. So let's see, White Raw, good sir, do you have any thoughts on this match? Your teammate, your opponents, any BMing you want to do before the game starts?
You know, yeah, I can even not play. Stefano can make our job.
Oh.
I'm just building workers. And I building like 12 roaches, and I think this is enough for Stefano take victory.
All right, barely needs to make anything for Stefano to take this game. And our last little bit of input, Hasuabs, before we start this game, do you have any thoughts, any words of encouragement for your teammate or threats to your enemy team?
No, I think Select is right. It's going to be quite easy. Unless Stefano starts to make Swarm Host, then it will take a while, but then we still win, I think.
All right, so either quick and painless, long drawn out, but still a victory for Team Select is what we're seeing out of these guys. So that's the thoughts from the players before we get into this game, guys, and we'll be going into this just a little bit.
See you after the break for more Fight Night.
I could jokingly say that, yeah. The best gamers in the world are from the United States. Fight Night.
I am better at StarCraft than you.
You know, sometimes, late at night, I think about Fight Night.